You know when you just make a random discovery some days when you're like looking through music on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to music and you just feel like you want to put them out into the world. You want everyone to know about them. Well, that was me when I found Snail Mail, aka Lindsey Jordan. What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the debut album by Snail Mail, the solo project of the indie star Lindsey Jordan. But it's not just her, it's also her backing band, and they obviously deserve credit as well, and I think that they've come through with a really nice project here, something that you can totally immerse yourself into, and Lush, the name of this album of course, has been released at the perfect time. This is a summer record if I've ever heard one. Lindsey first released music under the Snail Mail moniker in 2016 with the EP Habit, and I understand why only one track from that made it onto here. I think that she's at a different point in her life, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. We all grow, we all change and evolve, and with her being 19 years old, just even looking back a few years, if you notice the differences between the time you were 19 and 16 or 17, it's immaculate. I initially wasn't sure if I was going to give this project Lush a full-on review or if I would just tackle it in a roundup or something, but I decided to give it a full-on album review for two reasons. The first of those obviously being the immaculate quality of the album itself. That truly speaks volumes, the guitar playing, even the vocal melodies. It's something where Lindsey actually feels extremely competent and well beyond her years. And number two, why not celebrate Pride Month? Lindsey is actually a gay artist. It's not something that she says defines her music, but her being gay and it being Pride Month, why not celebrate a young, talented gay artist? And I hope that you guys will check out her album. I will leave a link down below. As she's indicated in multiple interviews in the months leading up to Lush, her being gay doesn't define her music, and I like what she had to say. She had to say that someone's sexuality doesn't need to be the center focus. It doesn't need to be why you listen to someone, which I think about that and I'm thinking, yeah, why would I ever just say, oh, well, this person is straight, or this person is bi, or this person is gay? Why does it matter about someone's sexuality? It matters about the music itself. Who cares what pronoun someone is singing about? It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's always nice to be able to relate to somebody, especially if you are gay, I'm sure. But listening to Lindsey in general, these are songs that connect on such a deeper level. And even if you aren't having the same sentiments, you don't have to. That would be like saying that you have to enjoy baseball only if we all like the Red Sox. I mean, I love the Red Sox, but not everybody does. But at the end of the day, we all love baseball. Just like here, we all love music. I hope that wasn't too confusing, but what I'm driving at is that I'm not going to sit down and analyze what every song might be about, because at the center of it all, I think that these are tracks about love and loss and trying to move on or else being tired of moving on. And the first time that I laid ears on Pristine, I knew that I was in for a treat. Pristine truly sways with an unwavering guitar melody that in places is extremely strong, and she also builds up her vocal presence as she sings about the past and just moving on and where she exactly stands. And then we got even more of that on Heatwave, which is probably the most single-heavy track on this, and I mean that in the sense that it's very catchy, but it also has a lot of dynamics and plenty of layers. Heatwave is hands down one of the best songs of 2018 so far. Its beautiful summer vibes that it's able to conjure up are unlike anything else. It reminds me of kind of a lazy day doing exactly what the title of the song says. A heat wave's coming in, you don't exactly know what to do with yourself other than maybe think of that special someone, and then she sings, when you're gonna give it up to me, green eyes. Somebody with green eyes is out there, somebody is playing hard to get perhaps, or somebody has just evaded her, and it's really interesting to see this one play out over kind of a forlorn melody and a concept to the song, but at the same time it remains hopeful with its instrumental, and it just gives a vivid depiction both musically and lyrically of what's going on here, and this one is something that needs to be on your radar. Golden Dream kind of moves into lucid territory where we start to see a more descriptive narration of exactly something that Jordan is going through, and I love the moving drums on this. One of the more rollicking drum performance, I would say, because they're moved more towards the center of the production and just the mix in general, and I really like the guitars on this one, but the way that they intertwine with the drums, it's such a connectivity that it's maybe a little detailed, but it's not something that should be overlooked. Then as the album continues rolling on, we have other amazing tracks like Speaking Terms that truly stands out to me and speaks to me on a different level. It's something that offers maybe a little bit of a slower quality after coming out of Pristine, but still, it's not to be missed. It's very interesting how this album is presented to us because it does have varying styles and tones. It can range from being a little bit more aggressive, like on Heatwave, or even the other amazing, more up-tempo track with a soaring hook, Full Control, that I absolutely love. But it can also range to the down-tempo, more singer-songwriter styled with something like Let's Find an Out that has a very sad, melancholic feel to it, but it's also something that keeps you coming back because maybe you didn't pick up on something the first time and you have to keep listening in. And that is something that plagued me the first handful of listens through this album. I just didn't find myself paying attention to it enough, and I shouldn't have treated it like background material. You need to give it your full attention if you're going to listen to Lush, because once you do, that's when it truly opens up that kaleidoscope of color that's within. The pair of songs that close out this record are absolutely excellent. I love Deep Sea for the way that it really shows off Lindsey as a vocalist. It shows off her hitting a different range, her hitting some higher and lower registers. It starts off a little bit slower with that guitar, but also reaches some new heights. And it also adds in an extra element because there's some outside instrumentation that you really don't get on the majority of this record, and it kind of feels like a film coming to a close in just a theater or maybe a little bit of an IMAX experience. You're going through somebody's life, and then this is maybe the climax of that, tying everything back together. And then we go out on Anytime, which is another great track, maybe not quite as great as Deep Sea for me, but still, she's doing something there vocally that's extremely engaging. I don't know why I had to listen to this album so many times. I had a hard time putting to words exactly what I was feeling. It's a very, very good record. It's something that I absolutely love listening to, and once again, like I said before, it has a summer vibe to it that you can relate to. Even if you're a little bit older, you can think back on those days when maybe you were just looking out at the summertime and not exactly knowing what to do with yourself or your love life or just figuring yourself out in general. And this album does a great job of tying things together and really just coming together as a very cohesive project, something that I think anybody who likes indie, alternative, rock music, you're going to appreciate this release. At least check out some of the singles, Heatwave, Pristine, some of the deep cuts like Deep Sea, or Let's Find an Out, or maybe even Speaking Terms. I think you'll find something that you really, really like. As for me personally, I'm going to give this album a light 4.5 out of 5. I've really been enjoying it, and it's not that I had to come around on it, it just took a little bit of extra time to appreciate and really just fully understand. What do you guys think? If you've heard it, let me know in the comment section down below. If you haven't, then what are you doing? You gotta go check it out right now. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you want to see more indie reviews, and other than that, you can find me on Patreon. It would really help me keep making videos like this, top link down below. There's a direct link to my Patreon stuffed in the annotation right over here in the corner of the screen. If you want to see another indie video, right over here, I talked about a band called Now Now, tap right there. If you want to see another recent alternative video, then right over here, or find me on social media at all of these links that you see here, they're in the description. I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.